Welcome back to the workshop. So my local club has got a theme table where you turn stuff on a theme. And this month it's something useful. So this is my something useful. Not my idea. I printed it off Facebook. So basically it's a pin box for sewists. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do any talking while I'm doing it. I'm just going to get on with it. So this is the voiceover bit. I didn't want to record audio whilst I was turning because it just gets in the way of turning. So my blanks are a bit too big, so the first thing is to resize them down to fit and get a tenon on it. It's really typical for when I start a bowl of any sort. Cut the corner off and get the tool rest in a bit closer. And it's a fairly typical finger bowl type thing, but I didn't like the shape. Didn't please me. So a quick redesign. Using the Ashley Isles bead forming tool. Just cut myself a bead there. Now I'll cut around it to expose it. Yeah, I got rid of the original attempt at a tenon and formed a new one. Excuse my hair in the picture. I've got the fan on and it's blowing things all over the place. That's the inside exposed. Let's do the outside. Now this is slightly impractical because the idea is that this is going to hold pins and curving the top in is purely decorative and not functional. But to me it's a better profile. The old maple syrup, which is really Libron sanding sealer, cellular sanding sealer to be precise. Diluted about 50-50 with cellular thinners. Don't polish it at this stage, I'll do that later. A couple of cuts just to show up the rim of this. This is going to be a box, so I'm going to form a mortise there for the lid to drop into, and a step inside of that, which will be the bit I shall hollow out. This is intended to be a pin box, so it's going to be near where you're working, so I want it to be quite heavy. I'm not taking it down to a thin wall, because I don't want it getting knocked over. Practical consideration to make it more functional. So I've got a magnet, which is from memory 5mm thick and 18mm diameter. So 18mm forcing a bit. Use the gauge on the lathe to get a 5mm depth. I didn't film, well I did film it, but I didn't put it on final film. I glued that in with a bit of epoxy resin, epoxy two-part glue. So onto the lid. Again, the blank is too big, so true it up, make it rightish size, and then go from there. So that's a bit bigger than the final size I want, but it just gives me, this is the roughing out cut, so it gives me something to cut to start with. This is really just playing with the design, so I've just grabbed two blanks I had handy. The lid's going to be oak and the bowl is going to be ash. You see all the dust floating around there, that's because the fan's on. It's actually behind me blowing it away from me, so it's in the picture but not near me. Bit more of a careful cut now, just because I'm getting close to where I want to start sizing things up properly. This is the measurement of the tenon that I'm going to need on here to go into the bowl. As always, when making a box fitting, creep up on it, don't rush it. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, and then it's right, and if it goes wrong again, you can't get it back. When finished, I want this to be a loose fit because it needs to be able to lift off with a single hand. But I want to use it as a jam chuck in the making of this. So tight fit at this stage, and I'll just run a bit 400 grit over the tenon and that'll make it loose when I'm done. Using the skew to do a peel and cut in there to square up that corner. Yeah, it's a good jam chuck fitting. No good for the final design, but it's good for this. And now that last couple of mil, just to get the lid and the box the same size. I'm putting a small finger cove in. Not yet, I'm just cutting waste away at the moment, but it's a small finger cove here so that something to grab hold of and lift the lid with. The design, as I said earlier, I copied off of Facebook, and it suggests the lid can be used as a coaster, and I thought that was a good plan. So it's a flat lid. So I missed filming some of this, using the jam chuck to take the foot off and get it down flat. So then I laser my logo onto it, maker's mark. That's sped up to about 3 times the speed for that, but and it went on upside down. I must learn how to use this laser. There you go, a little bit of polish on the bold part and the base. And turn our attention to the lid. I've already got the tenon. It's too tight at the moment, but I'll sort that out. Just got to do some sort of design on the inside. And because I've got the beading tool out, I'm inclined to do some beads. Once again, apologies for the hair on the camera. So I'll mark the edges of my bead first, just get the bead form started, and then I'll take it all the way in and form it into a bead. We're now back onto the lid. The lid has been reversed into the chuck now. And I'm taking away waste. So not being overly careful with the cut, but it's getting rid of it. Again, pinch from the Facebook that I saw. Going to drill some holes in this over on the drill press. Fill them. So we've got the 4 holes. Going to fill them with some epoxy and some brass powder to mimic the holes in a button. So the button's a button lid. This is sped up, as you would probably noticed. And you can watch glue dry if you want, but I'm actually using the longer setting time epoxy. So half-hour setting time, not 5 minutes that I normally use. Gives me a bit more working time. Mixing powders into it and paints or whatever. It works fine for fillers like this. Probably ruins the adhesive strength of the glue, but we're not using that anyway. And magically, because it's video, that's set now, and we can go to work. Now I'm using the beading tool off of the edge because I only want a half bead here. Clean up the surface. This centre I want to keep flat because I want to use it as, well, I want it to be usable as a coaster. Just finding the bottom of that bead. And bring it across flat from there. Just get right into the edge. So that's the top of the lid done. Apart from that messes up in a bit in the middle. Don't tell anybody. So, usual polishing. And we'll finish off with some Hampshire Sheen high gloss. I actually put 3 coats of the wax on. 3 thin coats is far superior to 1 thick coat. Coming up towards the end now, I've got a few pictures that I've taken subsequently inserted into the video. That's the whole thing. And you can see the magnet in the bottom there holding the pins. So, there you have it. One Ceres pin pot. Change of mind on the design, so I've got this beaded foot. It needs to be stable, and that is pretty stable. It's a little bit perfect, really. If you don't have to hold it, it comes off. It doesn't fall off. It is decorated to resemble a button. It's done with epoxy and brass powder in drill holes, and a bead on the edge, just because. Well, it's actually a half bead on the edge. Slight cove around there to allow your fingers to grip it, and just a fraction tighter than I would like. I'd like it to just lift off, but I can soon fix that. And I don't have any pins, so mine's got screws in it. Just because I can. A gold leaf magnet. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Cheers for now.